Association's wonderful event in partnership with Fraser Watson Croutch. Thank you for being here with us today. Post-COVID, there's nothing more heartwarming than to see such a beautiful gathering of all of the wonderful members of the Armenian Bar Association, the young lawyers, non-lawyers, coming together to find an avenue to connect, find friendships, an opportunity to grow and succeed. We are so delighted to have you here with us at Fraser Watson Croutch. I want to thank Steve Fraser for partnering with me and the Armenian Bar Association. I want to thank Marina Hagopian and all of my team members for welcoming this wonderful organization. I will share with you that last year, one day I was sitting thinking to myself, what, if anything, can I do to help the younger lawyers in the Armenian community? Just a few days later, I saw a notification about this beautiful event that was being hosted at another law firm in another state. And I immediately thought, bingo, I want to be part of this beautiful organization, beautiful event, and work with the Armenian Bar Association. I reached out to Lucy, and I'm so grateful that she really was willing to work with us. Thank you so much for doing it. It's an honor and a privilege to have you all here today. I'm going to pass it on to Jesse from the Armenian Bar Association, who has made sure that this event will be a success. Jesse, would you please give Jesse a warm welcome?
Very, very well said. So just a few things to add here. So again, thank you to Fraser for hosting this. You know, we really couldn't do this without all of you, and this is just a wonderful event. So thank you for bringing all of us together here. So what we do and who we represent is the Armenian Bar Association's Young Lawyers Committee. And our aim is really to just bring the young Armenian lawyers in the community together. And you know, we use young lawyers very loosely. As you can see, there's quite a spread of folks here from law school to some of the more senior practicing attorneys. And you know, when you get on this law school process and you want to become a lawyer, you realize that, you know, you don't do it alone, and there's people at every step of the way that help you. Every generation of lawyers is willing to be there and step in for everyone, and so that's really a big part of what we try to do. Yes, we focus on events for the younger lawyers in that community, but we can't do it without people who've already done it before us, and we want to help train the people below us in law school, because they're going to ultimately replace us and step into our shoes. So that's a little bit about the Young Lawyers Committee and what we try to do. And you know, we really do want to thank everyone for being here, because ultimately the mission and what guides what we do is all of you, right? So we can't do this without you. These events would mean nothing if you didn't show up and you didn't make an effort, given your schedules, to come here, meet people, and participate in the community. So thank you all for being here. And if you do want to get more involved, there's plenty of members from the ABA, which we'll give some shout outs to and make some intros to. You know, reach out to us. We're happy to have you get more involved. We can, you know, we'd love to incorporate different folks from different practice areas and really build out what we do so that we can always continue improving and better serve our community as well. So with that, the first introduction I'll make is to Vardy, one of the co-chairs of the Young Lawyers Committee. So,
hi, Vardy.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you so much, Jesse. I literally cannot say it better. But first of all, I'm Varsi Hindoyan. Very nice to meet all of you. Very thankful, again, want to also extend my gratitude for the event. I also want to extend my gratitude to two of our board members of the Armenian Bar Association that are here with us, that are in the LA region. One is Lucy Varpetian with the camera, and then Alan Harutyunyan. So they enable, like, they are the brains behind the whole organization, essentially, and they allow all of this to happen. And they are great backbones for the Young Lawyers Committee, which Alan used to chair. So we had big shoes to fill. Very thankful for you all. Again, as Jesse said, feel free to reach out. You can come to us here, find us on LinkedIn. We have a lot of programming that we generally do, a lot of educational pieces, some like practical pieces, and we're trying to do more of these in-person events. And then with that, I don't know if you had any more you wanted to speak to, but I know or
Well,
anybody else on the firm that we just wanted to open the floor.
You know, just a few comments, and I really want to pass it on to Steve Fraser. Jesse had asked me if at all, if time permits, to provide my input and my thoughts, what is required of someone to become a great professional. And I must add that I've been at this firm for 12 years, and I've had the greatest mentorship that I could have asked for. Steve Fraser is here. Todd Croutch is here with us as well. Dave Wright is with us. Some of our partners unfortunately couldn't be here with us, but the mentorship that you get, it is crucial and critical to become a great professional. I know some of you are lawyers, some of you are not. When I first started out as a lawyer, as you may recall, in 2008, there was a tremendous recession, and I would convey to my father how stressed and nervous I was because of the recession. And I was afraid that I would be let go of my job because at the time I didn't have client development. And the advice that he gave me was, a person who does great work will never have to worry about getting work. And so my goal was to take on that advice and put my head down and do the best work that I could. Again, with the mentorship of your senior partners who will help you to grow and advance. One of the things that I think is really important is to make sure that you really focus on your highest expectations of yourself. As Marie knows, her and I would talk. She used to work here at our firm, and she had high expectations of herself. And that's one of the things that we really want in all of the lawyers that we have the privilege of working with us at the firm. One of the other things that I would recommend is be always prepared. Don't wake up in the morning to try and figure out what you're going to wear that day for your big day. Try to figure that out the night before. I do have a colleague who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today because of an injury. He has practiced for over 3 decades. And even to this day, if he has an important argument, he will stand in front of the mirror and he will practice his oral arguments. So that goes to show about the importance of preparation. We could really have an entire symposium talking about what are the things we need to do as young professionals and what we can do as community members to grow and succeed. A couple of more items I'm going to hit on before I pass it on to Steve Fraser. It is really important to know you will never succeed alone. Your colleagues help you, your community helps you, and that's why we have this event today. You all understand that, and that's why you're all here in this room, because you recognize the importance of community. You recognize the friendships that you will develop today and onward. Do not be afraid to pick up the phone and call one of the other members of the community or the colleagues to ask a question. Believe it or not, I have days where I think, oh my God, I'm not 100% sure. And one of my colleagues, Todd Croutch or Dave Wright or Steve Fraser, I'll call them. I will call them and I will start with, I think I'm being paranoid, but please hear me out. So please do not be afraid to do that second check, that due diligence. Community service is very dear to me. Again, I'm very grateful to my senior partner, Steve Fraser, for allowing me, as a defense lawyer who has billable hours, the window of opportunity to not only spend time with my family, my beautiful niece, my friends, but also to allow me to have that window of community service. Community service is so important to me because otherwise I would feel very, very isolated, especially post-COVID. So it is my strongest recommendation to do all of those things and find a mentor. Find that mentor in this room. We're here for you today. Steve is here. All of the partners at my firm, wonderful colleagues, are here for mentorship today. I want to give a special thanks to Marina Hagopian all the way in the back. Marina has made sure that this event will be a success with the tremendous help of Liana as well. And without further ado, please welcome my colleague, senior partner C. Fraser.
Thank you. You guys can go ahead and find standing room only, but I hate to talk over my back here. Let me just say to you guys what I said. I just finished a 6-week trial for UCLA for the Regents of the University of California, a medical malpractice case. And what I stood in front of the prospective jury and said was what I'm going to say to you, and that is, I'm Steve Fraser, and I feel truly blessed. I am blessed to do what I do, right? I defend healthcare providers. That's what I do for a living. And I have the opportunity to defend some of the finest healthcare providers in the entire world. And it's really true. That case was involving UCLA and a world-class urogynecologist by the name of Christopher Tarnay. And we do USC, we do all sorts of folks. And let me just also say thank you, Corinne, for the introduction and the opportunity to do your community service. She still has to do her billable hours, right? Despite all the community service that she may do. But anyway, let me just orient you a little bit, those of you who are unfamiliar with the practice of defending healthcare providers in 2023 and what that involves. And I won't bore you too much, but let me give you an orientation. And as a preface and as a disclaimer, we are looking to hire people, right? So if you know or anybody, if you are looking or if you know anybody that's looking, please put the word out. We are extremely blessed. It used to say it's a positive problem. We have more work than we have people to do it. And we are not alone in our community in this situation. Lots of people, for whatever reason in California, don't have great outcomes with healthcare providers. I also say to juries, what are your guarantees in life, Onik? What are your guarantees in life?
Life, health, happiness.
Guarantees. What's guaranteed in your
Death
life?
and taxes.
I guess.
Death and
I don't know.
taxes.
Is that true? Is that true? Do you have to pay your taxes?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Are any of us getting out of here alive? No. The only guarantee that you have in life, you're not guaranteed your next breath. You're not guaranteed your paycheck. You're not guaranteed anything other than what we are doing here in this lifetime is short-lived. And how many of us, how many of our loved ones go out the way we want to, right? Just like we planned. What's a perfect life? I'm going to live until I want to live no longer. My mother, I saw in the assisted living community this morning, she said to me the old lyrics of the Old Man River song. Remember that song? You probably don't, right? But I do. Old Man River, that Old Man River, he keeps on rolling, right? And what she said to me is something along the lines of, I'm too tired to keep on living, but I'm too afraid to die, right? And that's where she's at in her life right now. So what's a perfect life? We live until we don't feel like living anymore. We get the opportunity to say everything we want to say, do everything we want to do, take care of our loved ones to the extent we can. Then we lay our head down at night and we go to sleep and we don't wake up. How many people get to die like that? Not very many. And when you represent healthcare providers, you know that you're representing a profession that is doing the best they can in a job where they were all going to ultimately fail, right? And very few people go out the way they want to do, and they're unhappy about it, and they sue people. God bless them, or else I wouldn't have anything to do, right? But it's a great living. I went to undergraduate school in a liberal arts college in Illinois. I was a really shitty student, barely graduated, went to work as a salesman, sold copy machines and typewriters for years, went to law school at night after I got fired, had no medical background or training, took the only job that would hire me, and it was a medical malpractice firm. And I loved it, and I still love it. It's amazing work. The medicine, I was talking to you about not liking the medicine. I love the medicine. Every case that we do is different and new, and we have to learn it, just like the doctors have to learn it. And at least you have to be able to pronounce the words right. But anyway, it's a great profession. And echoing something Corinne said about being young and looking for opportunities, and opportunities finding you, etc. What I tell young lawyers who come to work for us is that the work will find you. It's kind of like water finding the lowest level and then building puddles, etc. Work will find you. If you do good work, the work will find you. You don't have to go looking for it. The word will get out that you're doing good work, and people will come looking for you instead of you looking for the work. And anyway, God bless you all. We have a lot of Armenian lawyers and support staff here at FWC. I love Armenian people. My name is Fraserian. No, it's great work ethic, great people, great culture. I love the way you folks stand behind each other. Raffies and Artsac, etc. Anyway, it's just, you people are super, super people. Love you all. Thank you all for coming and joining us. Feel free to reach out and let's chat, etc. Have a good time, and please eat some of this food, okay?
Thank you so much. One last bit of thing that I wanted to, very tough act to follow. Amazing. Thank you so much for everything. But I did want to take a quick moment to have our colleague Alan introduce a few of our awards recipients who weren't able to be there in our DC award for the 20 under 40 award. So we have 3 people who weren't able to be with us in DC back in November, I think. And I want to have Alan introduce them so we can finally give them the much deserved award for all their contributions.
Thank you for your speech, and thank you for hosting us. The Young Lawyers Committee, when we first started, was a really small group of young lawyers. We started by doing firm crawls at different firms around town, and to not be on the committee anymore, it's in great hands with Bhakti, who's the current chair, and Jesse, and to see the size of the group grow every year, it's really humbling and really great to see. So thank you all for coming out, and I hope you guys recognize the benefits of it. I certainly did. Just being part of the organization, I met so many people, not just in California, but across the country, DC, New York, San Francisco, Texas, everywhere. So please do get involved, and I really encourage you. You'll get a lot out of it. So yeah, keep it up. We have 3. So we every couple of years we get together and we recognize attorneys that are under the age of 40. And this year we held an event in DC. We had a great turnout, and one of the things that I learned about going through the process this time, because I was on the selection committee, is that we have so many great accomplished attorneys, both at the educational level. Everybody's super qualified with top law schools, top accomplishments in school, and so the deciding factor that we were looking at in selecting these people, because everybody had the educational accomplishments through the roof, was their contributions to the community, to the Armenian bar, to Armenia, and all that. So that was really what we were looking at, and the people who were recognized today have demonstrated exceptional contributions to the bar and to Armenia. So the first recipient is Arman Kazirian. Arman. He graduated from law school in 2013, and in 2018 started his own firm where he does plaintiff side employment work. He graduated, I think, from UCLA and has been an active member of the Armenian bar. One of the things that sets him apart and we thought was worthy of recognition was that he has, on behalf of the Armenian bar, submitted reports to the United Nations to document human rights and racial bias abuses committed by Azerbaijan in the last conflict. And so one of the things that really stood out to us in his application was that. So Arman, come on up and grab your award. If you want to say anything or...
Thank you to the Armenian Bar Association for this award. I very much appreciate it. I got recruited to start volunteering on the UN committee about 2 years ago by Lucy Varpetian. When she first approached me, I was a little bit ambivalent about it. I thought, I'm always overloaded with work. Even if there isn't a deadline, there's always something you can be working on. particularly if you're in litigation. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll give it a try, see how it goes. And I'm glad I did. It's very fulfilling to be able to volunteer in this way and to try to give back and assist the community with our special skill set, which, you know, we're not into construction, into computer science, we're attorneys. And so I'm very happy to be able to contribute to the Armenian bar and to the Armenian community with our special knowledge base. So thank you for the Armenian Bar Association to giving me this opportunity and for recognizing me with this award.
Thank you, everyone.
So, thank you. The next recipient of the award is Irene Scholl Tatevosian. Where are you? There you are.
Heidi.
Smile.
Thank you.
Sure. So a little bit about Irene. She's currently general counsel at Cal Arts, which is a very prestigious private art university located in Santa Clarita. We were talking just outside, and she's joined over the last few months. Prior to that, she was a litigation attorney at Nixon Peabody out in Los Angeles, right? Downtown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and her practice focused on, I think, employment and complex litigation. While she was there, she started the Esports and Gaming Group and served as the vice president of the Esports Bar Association.
I love litigating, but this was a change, and it's nice so far. It's only been 4 months in. I just say, I think what everyone said before, Karine talking about the advice that she was giving, I think it really rings true. I couldn't have said it better myself. The other thing I'd say is really follow your passions, because our jobs are hard and it's long hours. So you're never, I've always loved what I've done, but only because I've worked in areas that I've loved. So, like esports and gaming, I used to be a video gamer in my former life, not anymore, I don't have time for it. But to be able to apply this profession to it was something I spent a lot of time doing outside of work hours, and so really follow your passion and what you're good at. And as Mr. Fraser was saying, like you'll love your job, it makes it easier.
Thank you. And last but not least, we want to recognize Jesse. Let's give a round of applause. Jesse is a transactional attorney at Goodwin & Procter in Los Angeles, where he represents private companies in mergers and acquisitions. Before that, he was an associate at Skadden, and that's where I think we first met when he joined the Young Lawyers Committee. He joined the committee during COVID when we were all meeting virtually, and one of the things that really stood out about Jesse was his willingness to participate in the meetings, speak up, and really dedicate his time, because his time back then was very precious, but he put that aside and was very helpful to the organization, and here he is now helping with Bharti to plan this event. One of the things, so that's one of the things that stood out about Jesse, and one of the reasons why we decided to recognize him and his contributions to the Armenian bar. So congratulations, Jesse.
Thank you to the Armenian Bar Association and to Lucy especially. This sort of happened by accident, right? I was just, like you said, on the meetings, not with video, just kind of a black screen with my name on it, but asking enough questions, I guess, to eventually, it kind of turned into this. So like this should just show you that, if you do want to get involved, there are opportunities. And I think the last thing, I know, like, I'm the last person to speak before drinks and more food, so I'll keep it quick. But the last thing I'll say is, like, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, right? And if you see all the different backgrounds of people here, right, like, the law, like, being an attorney, it opens up so many doors for you, and you get to do so many things, and you meet so many great clients. So if you're open-minded and you just come to these things, you don't know who you're going to meet or where you'll end up. And so my bit of advice would just be to keep doing this. Even if you think you have the greatest job in the world, keep doing this, because you will meet people that will undoubtedly, enhance your career, or worst case, you'll make some friends, So thank you. And again, thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to say? Last words before we go back to eating, drinking?
No, I think you all wrapped it up really nicely. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. This is, again, such a beautiful event. I agree with everyone's comments, and I echo on them. Keep drinking. We have coffee. We have more drinks, so please enjoy yourselves and make some great friendships. Thank you so much for coming.